Boom. All right. Welcome, everyone. I am T, and I am here for the Daily Brew, episode 13, which is the T episode. And interestingly, sorry, I'm just stupid. I think it will be the last episode of the Daily Brew and the first episode of the Daily Brew. Wait. Yeah. Made another one. I got aluminum wire. This took me this took me 5 minutes this morning. I strung it between a pair of pliers and a screwdriver, and I just spun it. It was easy as hell. It's light as shit and it works great. I don't know if aluminum is poison for you, by the way. It might be. There's actually maybe some evidence that aluminum oxides used in, if I remember correctly, used in antiperspirants can have an effect on your endocrine system, but I don't remember the science of that. I heard it from a teacher a while ago, and I haven't validated it, and I don't have time to right now. But anyway, I made this, so that just proves that you can do it real quick, because I did this morning, and I did it at like 7 a.m. when I woke up. I was just like, and it worked. It's great. That's neither here nor there. The brew. This is probably going to be the last daily brew on this channel. Episode 13, which is also my birthday is the 13th, and it's kind of a lucky number, and I've been thinking about numbers because I've got to DM a D&D game this afternoon, and I'm working on how to fit all the numbers and how to make all the things work. I'm also kind of high. I smoked a big fucking bowl of, or I vaped, I should say, because I don't smoke anymore. I vaped a big fucking bowl of cannabis early this morning, and that got me going for the day, and in some interesting directions that have turned very productive. Maybe not the best direction for speaking to the camera, but I have to do this anyway because no matter my current state, I have to do the Daily Brew. And so, the Daily Brew is not in any way ending. In fact, it is only just beginning, but it will end its run here on this channel. I'm going to wait for that to get a little bit quieter. Over the past year or year and a half, I've been slowly coming to a conclusion, which I think is the process of figuring out little bits and pieces without all the pieces actually falling into place into a picture of something useful. Like figuring out all of the scenes that you want to happen in a movie or a piece of animation without actually understanding how they would all fit together into some compelling narrative. And while scenes like that can be quite compelling in their own right, they're nothing compared to their position in a grander tapestry of the whole. So I've been coming to a conclusion, and I've been fiddling with little parts of it. And the conclusion is this. I am Teaboo. But I am not just Teaboo. I'm also TD20, or T&D, the second channel that I took my second channel and I renamed it because I was experimenting with this idea in a sort of safe way with, like, being something other than Teaboo only, but taking some part of it and putting it into the other thing. The T part of it. Teaboo is a huge part of me. It's the part that's interested in anime, and maybe even in art in general, might be effective, because I feel like that weeaboo tendency. By the way, weeaboo is a weird word that comes from it's a neologism created on 4chan to replace Wapanese with weeaboo because it was being used too much as sort of a slur, and so it created a new slur that was used for people who are gaijins, who are stupid Americans who are interested in the culture of the Japanese, which is interesting. And I like that, and there's definitely a part of me that identifies with that. But then, in many ways, I see the word weeaboo as being used synonymously with otaku, and otakuism, to my mind, having investigated the phenomenon, is like an obsession with artistic things above all else, an obsession with creation, and the specifics of, like, what is compelling about this thing, I don't know, but I love it, and I want to buy 2,000 of them, and I want to put them on my walls, and I want to save them forever just in case they're valuable. It's like, that's weird, and it's an interesting bit of behavior, and I've got that tendency in me, and it's a huge part of why I go after art and stuff. So maybe Teaboo is the all of art thing, but maybe it's just the weeaboo part that's interested in specifically Japanese animated storytelling, because that's what I've tried to restrain it to. And those restrictions have made it a very interesting arena for, well, for the continuing success and success in accomplishing my goal, which is not to make money or to succeed. The goal is to understand the art better, and it's working. I'm starting to understand art better. I've been understanding art better as we've moved along, and one thing that you can't say is you can't go back to my earliest videos and go, well, this guy gets it better than the new guy, because the new guy gets it way better, or at least way differently. And maybe that change is the process of getting good. You know, maybe change is good regardless of what direction it's in, because we oscillate towards something of value. I don't fucking know. What I do know is that the restrictions are good, but restrictions are not always good. And to restrict yourself to just one identity, to restrict myself to just one identity, I'm that guy who talks about anime, isn't quite right, because I'm a whole lot more than that. And I'll bring all of that to bear on the anime stuff, and I'll use the anime stuff to inform all the other stuff because, well, because stories have meaning, and media matters, and I like the medium a lot. I like the medium of animation a lot, and I like the stories that it tells a ton. And so I'm never going to stop investigating it. It's infinitely investigatable. I sat down with my roommate, who is very quickly becoming easily my best friend in the world, and we watched the first episode of Devilman Crybaby, and we just talked through it, and it was incredible, and it was the exact experience that I love about watching anime with other people, which I initially, as a seed of desire, got a little bit of from watching other people watch anime when I watched reaction videos, and got a lot of in college when I showed my Korean roommate, who hadn't seen either American television or much anime. I showed him a bunch of anime, and we learned those stories together, and I showed him a bunch of things that I had already seen, and that's part of what I want to do going forward, is to watch things that I've already seen. And one of the first things that we're going to watch on that list, I'm just going to tell you, it's Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. We're going to watch it at some point within the next few months. I'm going to start a rewatch of Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood with full discussions, and we're going to go deep, man, because I think Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood and Brotherhood specifically, the other one's good too, but not even close. I think Brotherhood and the manga that it's based on, as far as I know, but I haven't read it, so I don't know, is a core myth, and a really good one. Like the kind of core myth that even if you don't believe in religion, the laws of equivalent exchange are good enough, and if you believe in that, you can work effectively in the world. And so it's like a core myth, and we need to investigate it as powerfully as I possibly can. I'm recording, right? Yes, good. So we're going to rewatch some things, and that's a change that I'm going to make, and I promise that I'm going to make that change. And that's me saying, like, I will make that change within the next 6 months, done. And that's the Atomic Habits thing, which is like, I have to tell myself that I'm going to do that, because I am the person who must do those things, and I am a person, and I must do those things. Okay, great. Moving on. I'm going to rewatch some things, and that experience is exactly the experience that I wanted to give back to the world in equivalent exchange for the joys that I have experienced from observing the art itself, because the process of observation is itself powerful. Media, film, doesn't live. It doesn't live. It's dead. It doesn't do anything. It's just a file sitting on your drive or a disc in your cupboard. It doesn't do anything until it's being watched. And once you've watched it once, you can watch it again and again, but it's not quite the same. It lives again most effectively when it's being watched by a human for the first time, by a conscious entity who has never seen it before, experiences it again, or experiences it for the first time, and you get to watch them experience it and judge their judgment based on your own judgments, and judge your judgment based on their judgments, and figure out better by looking from different angles, but different people, what the thing really is and what it is about the thing that's interesting. So I wanted to do that, and I still want to do that, but I want to do that with more than just animated art. I want to do it with books too. I want to do it with political philosophy, because I'm actually well versed in political philosophy compared to most people my age. I'm not a lawyer. I haven't read everything, and I haven't studied, but I've got a lot of the history and the small stuff figured out, a lot of bits and pieces. And now that I'm buying books and really trying to read them, I'm getting a lot more of the big pieces going ka-chunk, ka-chunk, ka-chunk into what I think is an effective worldview based on a body of knowledge that I am humbled to have any shred of inside of my brain, because the number of brilliant people who live on inside my thoughts is bonkers, and I'd love to put those thoughts together in a way that is as 1% as concise as any of them did, and see if I can make some unions between some thoughts that are contradictory, because I think that's my real true calling, is taking things that seem contradictory and figuring out a way to fit them together and click them together and then share the new created product with everyone that I possibly can. And so to that end, there's a contradiction within me, which is that I am Tiabu, but I am also not Tiabu, because I am a thing that flows between things, and that thing I will call T. It's what people have been calling me for a long time anyway, in my Discord and elsewhere. Most people refer to me as T. When I tell people in the real world that my name is Tiabu, or that I will call myself that sometimes, or that that's the name that I'd like them to use if I'm recording something in the moment, just to make sure that they don't use my real name in the moment, they always end up calling me T, not Tiabu. And I say yes, and I embrace that now. I am T, and I am Tiabu. Fully at the same time. And that means that I am also TD20, which is going to be the D&D channel, and it exists. But as soon as I had this thought of like Tiabu, I was sitting outside drinking my protein shake and taking my vitamins, as one does, as I do at least. And I had this thought, and I went, oh shit, I gotta check and see if it's available. And I went and I checked. Is T Talks, well, first off, is T available as a Gmail account? No, obviously not. And it suggests like T949917, fuck, whatever. So I go, no, what about T Talks Too Much? It's available, taken, done. I took it. YouTube, choose your profile name, T, taken, done, took it. Choose your handle, T, taken, so I can't use it. T Talks Too Much? Available. Boom. YouTube channel exists. YouTube handle exists. T Talks Too Much Gmail exists. You can hit me up there if you'd like to. My other one is hikikomori, like more, M-O-A-R, hikikomori@gmail.com, because that's where I was at when I created this channel. But now I'm at T Talks Too Much. And T Talks Too Much is my new me. And it is T on YouTube. And it doesn't have a channel yet because we don't have enough subscribers for them to give me one yet. But if you'd like to head over, I'll put a link in the doobly-doo and maybe in a pinned comment or something. And go ahead and drop a subscribe and see if we can filter, a few percent of my 30,000 from over here and drop them into T Talks Too Much and take a channel from 0 to, like, a couple hundred in a few days. And if we could do that, then the YouTube algorithm is going to go, whoa, dude, what the fuck is this? I'll show this to more people, and then it'll show it to more people, and that thing might take off like gangbusters. So I'm letting you in. This is the secret sauce of the ideation process of me creating T Talks Too Much. And if I'm a bajillionaire podcaster in a few months or years or whatever, you can come back here and figure out where he was at. Well, he was at a couple places. Honesty, a desire to learn more, a desire to share information, and a distinct feeling that LSD is a useful substance. That's basically where I'm starting at. So there you are, and I'm gonna pursue that because it's really quite a compelling idea to me to build a channel that is just me talking too much, that is separate and isolated from T Talks about anime. And I don't know how these will balance out because my tendency to talk too much might overwhelm my tendency to desire anime. So this might be weird, y'all. It might be weird, y'all. I think it's going to be worth it. I think it's going to be worth it so that I can talk about whatever I want and come back to Tiabu. Not just come back, but Tiabu's going to be a main thing for forever, right? This is a side project right now. The big project, it's just a side project as an umbrella corporation for Tiabu. Tiabu is the part that works right now, and I'm not throwing no part of it away, okay? Not without a damn good fight, right? And that's good because nobody wants me to throw most of the channel's content that I'm making away. And we know that, and I don't want to. But balance will come, and that requires sacrifice, and we'll see what those sacrifices have to be. And hopefully I am capable of choosing the proper sacrifices and not the improper ones. I haven't even poured my fucking tea. So, this will be the last brew on this channel, and to some extent, the first brew on the next channel. In the interest of making that occur, I'm going to cut while this tea is pouring, and the rest of the video is going to be on the new channel. Come and watch.